when people have somewhat of a seared conscience for the things that they've endured in their life. And it's like maybe their mindset stays stuck in that state of an existence or dysfunctionality. What I say is the Lord is not going to use comparisons. I call that the spirit of mockery. That's why he says, examine and judge yourself. Be doer of the word. Take the motes and beams out of your own eye before you move them out of somebody else's. Don't take counsel from the ungodly or from the wicked. So this is what I'm saying. The Lord's never going to use somebody, and this is what you call wolves in sheep clothing. Or like they say, Satan masquerades as an angel light, so does his servants. They can portray themselves as a self-righteous person who's trying to condemn you off for your wrongdoings, and they haven't even corrected their own. That's part of the kingdom of darkness. It's busybody, tale-bearing, backbiting, slandering. Busybodying is worrying about what other people are doing when you're not standing in correction yourself, or always carrying that spirit of error with you or confusion. You live in confusion. You talk about other people. You keep talking about that's like you're gaslighting. Your tongue is crafty. You're crafting and designing your own confusion and chaos in your life. Where like they say, life and death is in the power of the tongue. You're speaking death wherever you go over your own life, in your conversations, in your interactions. You can't even intercede for yourself. This is what a debased mind does to somebody who, like, doesn't know how to live without confusion in their life. Don't find peace in their own tongue. They don't know how to speak peace. They don't know how to live in peace. They're under duress at all times. They live in the chaos and disorder that, this is whether it happened to them or was created for them, whatever the case may be. That's what a seducing spirit or a seared conscience is. And then once you've broke free out of those lifestyles and curses, that's why it says your enemies become of your own house, because they're still living defiantly or rebelliously, and you've overcome. And so, the justification will come in saying, sometimes they'll say you don't want to face reality when you don't want to talk about, because sometimes I cut conversations off. I don't want to do this. I'm not going to talk about people. I don't want to wake up to confusion every day, or I don't live in disorder and chaos. I serve the Prince of Peace. And then the justification of that, everybody goes through this, or you don't want to face reality. I have faced reality. That's what brought me to this cross, realizing that we weren't put on this earth to inflict sufferings on ourselves and the people we love. That's what brought me to the foot of Jesus Christ, knowing that we weren't put on this earth to live in constant disarray and wounding each other with words, talking unhealing, trauma, pain. That's the gateway for the enemy. And I tell people, Satan can't, or I'll tell them about the things that I've revelated since coming to the cross. Well, maybe that's the devil talking to you. No, the devil can't dwell into a holy temple. Satan's target is your mind, yes, but if you know your power over the kingdom of darkness, he can't dwell in a holy temple. He uses people, yes. People that live in sin is being used in his kingdom. They're in rebellion, they're in sin, and there's those that are seducing spirits, if you allow them to interact in your life, to pull you into that chaos or confusion or drag you back into the kingdom of darkness. You don't like someone tempts you. Those are your temptations. But it's obedience is your power over that kingdom and over that variables of variances in your life. Obedience. Obedience with your heart, serving the Father with true intentions and motives. There's nothing in this world that would make me ever go back into the kingdom of darkness or sin. Do I have righteous indignation? Of course I do. Do I have memories in a past? Of course I do. Some of the greatest prophets were sinners. You never forget your past, but that's where your wisdom from your life experience comes from. Like hands-on experience. That's where I obtained my greatest wisdom to turn my life around. Knowing doing the same things would expect different results, and I would be living in insanity. I know what failed me before. I fled my youthful lust. I know what didn't work or did work in my life. I learned who I was, and I learned my identity through Christ, knowing that I deserved and I was deserving of much more, and to live in peace, not suffering. There's a difference between long suffering and suffering. And I chose to find the correction in my life and do what I needed to do to obtain that correction, and stay in that. And if someone comes and wants to disturb my peace, um, to have healthy boundaries, it's okay to tell somebody, hey, please, that's why it says you can't be bad company will corrupt good morale, or drinking the cup of devil is drinking the cup of the Lord, where there's always confusion, talking confusion, always living under their own duress. Maybe it's through trauma, maybe it's through dysfunctional upbringings. Not quite sure, like I said, unless I talk to each individual person. But I don't have to choose to live in that or have those relationships. I can say, please don't talk to me. I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear all this right now. That's not being mean. Setting healthy boundaries for yourself to serve your peace or the Prince of Peace is a requirement. Fruits of the Spirit to have meekness. If someone's lashing out and argumentative and combative with around you, always talking about bad things, that's unhealthy and for any sound mind. That's not normal. I can't find normalcy in abnormalities. And nor does the Christ. Nor does the Christ.